Can you believe that mixing just the wrong food with a few drops of lemon, the kind you've been adding to meals for years, could be behind your bloating, fatigue, or even a hospital visit after 60? Sounds a bit extreme, right? I thought so too. I believed I was eating healthy, morning lemon water, lemon on my salad at lunch, and a little squeeze over grilled fish at dinner. But then I kept feeling sluggish. My digestion felt off. And some days, I even felt lightheaded. Turns out the real issue was how I was combining lemon with certain everyday foods. That's why I made this video. Today on The Elderly Way, I'll be sharing what I wish someone had told me earlier. 3 common foods that people over 60 should never combine with lemon, because they can cause gut trouble, worsen joint pain, or quietly stress the kidneys. Safe, smart ways to use lemon that actually support your digestion, boost your immune system, and help you sleep better. And why one small change in how you use lemon can make you feel noticeably lighter within just days. This isn't theory. It's real life. I've lived it, I've learned, and now I want to pass it on. But before we dive in, here's something I'd like you to ask yourself. Have you been feeling bloated or a bit off lately, even without eating that much? Have you blamed it on getting older and ignored what your food habits might be doing? If yes, then this video might be the piece you've been missing. And if you believe, after 60, we deserve to feel well, not just live long, then hit subscribe to The Elderly Way right now, because here, every video is a real-life story from someone just like you. Section 1. Common mistake: mixing lemon with milk, a hidden trouble for aging digestion. At this age, I've learned something important. It's often the little things, the ones we overlook, that make the biggest difference to our health. And how I used lemon in my daily routine is a perfect example. A few years ago, I had what I thought was a healthy habit. I'd start my morning with warm lemon water, then have some plain yogurt afterward. It sounded simple and nourishing, but weeks later I started feeling heavy, bloated, struggled to sleep, and had this lingering lower back discomfort I couldn't explain. At first, I blamed it on getting older, but during a visit, my nutritionist asked me one short question. Are you taking lemon close to dairy in the morning? That's when I learned that mixing lemon with milk, or any dairy product, is a hidden cause of digestive discomfort, especially in older adults. Why does this happen? Lemons are rich in citric acid, which is very acidic. Milk and dairy products contain calcium and casein proteins, which are stable in neutral environments but break down when exposed to strong acids. When citric acid meets dairy, it triggers a reaction. The milk curdles, it thickens, separates, and clumps. This is fine for making cheese, but not so fine when it happens inside your stomach. When we're young, our digestive systems are strong. We have plenty of stomach acid and enzymes to handle combinations like this. But after 60, our bodies naturally produce less hydrochloric acid and our digestive enzymes slow down. That makes it harder to process this lemon-dairy combo, leading to bloating even after small meals, gas, acid reflux, and heaviness, mild diarrhea or nausea, especially in the mornings, and worst of all, reduced calcium absorption, something our bones desperately need at this age. According to Rush University Medical Center, over 30% of Americans over 60 are calcium deficient, and most don't even realize it. One hidden cause: poor food combinations. A true story: my neighbor Joyce. Joyce lives just a few houses down. She's in her early 70s, very careful with her diet. She had this evening detox routine: warm milk with a splash of lemon juice before bed, hoping it would soothe digestion and help her sleep. Instead, she kept waking up feeling bloated, nauseous, and exhausted. Her appetite dropped. When I told her about what my nutritionist shared with me, she stopped the lemon milk mix immediately. Within a week, her sleep improved, her stomach felt light again, and her mood lifted. She laughed and said, "You know, at our age, small things make a big difference, especially when done the right way." So what should you do? 1. Avoid combining lemon with milk, yogurt, heavy cream, coffee with milk or creamer, desserts like lemon mousse or parfaits that use uncooked dairy. 2. If you enjoy lemon water in the morning, drink it on an empty stomach. Wait 30-60 minutes before eating any dairy. 3. When cooking, if a dish contains both dairy and lemon, like lemon cream pasta, make sure the dairy is fully cooked. This helps neutralize the acidity. 4. Gentle alternatives. For detox drinks, try chamomile, ginger, or warm apple cinnamon water. Instead of adding lemon to yogurt, try ground flax seeds, chia seeds, or soft fruits like bananas or pears. Use lemon with non-dairy dishes, steamed fish, veggie stir-fries, or roasted root vegetables. What matters most? After 60, it's not just about eating right, it's about eating wisely. Lemon isn't bad, dairy isn't harmful, but together, especially with an aging digestive system, they can do more harm than good. This one simple change, spacing out lemon and dairy, can help you sleep better, feel lighter, and most importantly, absorb the nutrients your body really needs. Section 2. Lemon and refined sugar, a sweet combination that spikes risk after 60. I used to think, a little sweetness won't hurt. A small cookie after lunch or lemon water with sugar in the afternoon, it just felt like a gentle treat. But eventually I realized, what feels like a little pleasure can quietly become a health risk, especially after 60. We all use sugar. It's in our tea, in birthday cake, and afternoon snacks. But when you combine refined sugar with lemon, especially if you're managing your blood sugar or over 60, this pairing can quietly throw off your metabolism. Why is it dangerous? Lemon contains citric acid, which has been shown to slow down how the body processes glucose. Normally, when you eat sugar, your body quickly releases insulin to move it into your cells. But acidic conditions like citric acid interfere with insulin activity. That means glucose lingers in your bloodstream longer, causing sudden spikes, then crashes. For anyone with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, this can be especially dangerous. According to CDC, nearly 1 in 4 Americans over 65 are living with diabetes, and many don't even know it. Even without a diagnosis, your body's insulin sensitivity naturally declines with age. So mixing sugar and lemon, like in a lemon cake or sweetened lemonade, can quietly work against your health goals. A study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that acidic foods can reduce insulin sensitivity by up to 20% when combined with refined carbs. That's enough to leave you feeling tired, foggy, or craving more sugar an hour later. A personal story. My friend Frank. Frank, my longtime buddy, loved his homemade lemonade every afternoon. Just lemon juice and 2 spoonfuls of white sugar. He swore it helped him feel refreshed. But he often felt sluggish after lunch, couldn't focus, and felt hungry too soon. Turns out, his blood sugar was swinging wildly. His doctor advised him to try unsweetened lemon water and eat sweets separately. In just 2 weeks, Frank was more alert, steady, and energetic again. It wasn't magic, just smarter timing and better pairing. What should you do? 1. If you enjoy lemon drinks, drink them unsweetened or use a small touch of honey, but don't mix with sweets. Pair with naturally sweet fruits like berries or apples. 2. If you want dessert, wait 1-2 hours before drinking lemon water to avoid disrupting glucose processing. 3. Read labels carefully. Many treats like lemon bars or marmalade contain both lemon and refined sugar. Use them sparingly. 4. Pay attention to your body. If you feel sleepy, dizzy, or hungry soon after eating lemon plus sugar, your body may be struggling with the combo. One small change, one big difference. You don't need to give up sweetness, but at our age, we deserve to enjoy it wisely. How you pair lemon and sugar can influence your daily energy, blood sugar balance, long-term heart and pancreas health. Section 3. Caution with healthy foods. When lemon meets spinach, beets, and peanuts. After turning 60, many of us work harder to eat well. More greens, more fiber, more superfoods for the heart and brain. And yes, spinach, beets, and peanuts are among the most praised. But what most people don't realize is this. When these foods are combined with lemon, they can quietly trigger kidney discomfort, or worse, kidney stones. What's really happening inside your body? Spinach, beets, and peanuts are all high in oxalates, natural compounds found in plants. Oxalates by themselves aren't harmful if your kidneys can flush them out efficiently. But when they meet citric acid from lemon, they tend to bind together and form tiny crystals in the urinary tract. Over time, those tiny crystals can grow into calcium oxalate kidney stones, the most common and painful type. Younger people often flush out oxalates with no problem. But after age 60, kidney function naturally declines. We lose nephrons, the filtering units of the kidneys. blood flow to the kidneys drops, and our metabolism slows. This means oxalates build up more easily, and even a simple combo, like lemon beet juice every morning, can set off stone formation without warning. What science says. According to the National Kidney Foundation, NKF, kidney stone risk rises sharply after 60, and diet is a major contributor. A study published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology, CJASN, showed a diet high in oxalates combined with acidic conditions increased the rate of calcium oxalate stone formation by up to 40% in adults over 55, compared to those with more neutral eating patterns. That's not a small number, and the worst part, it often happens silently. You won't feel anything until one day you're dealing with severe back pain, frequent urination, or deep fatigue. A real story from sweet Linda next door. Linda, 68, was devoted to her morning ritual, beet juice with a squeeze of lemon, believing it helped her liver detox and kept her skin glowing. But twice, she ended up in the ER with sharp back pain and urinary burning. Tests revealed she was building up too many oxalates in her kidneys. Her doctor traced it back to her daily beet-lemon combo. Once she stopped pairing those ingredients, switched to steamed greens, and kept lemon for separate meals, the symptoms disappeared. Linda told me, "I'm still eating healthy, I just learned to time it better for my age." So what should you do? 1. You don't need to avoid spinach, beets, or peanuts. They're still good for you, just don't combine them directly with lemon regularly. 2. Avoid dishes like spinach salad with lemon dressing, beet smoothies with fresh lemon juice, peanut-based sauces mixed with lemon like satay or Thai dips. 3. Try these instead. Use olive oil or light apple cider vinegar on spinach. Enjoy plain roasted beets without citrus. Save lemon for dishes lower in oxalates, steamed fish, cabbage, carrots. 4. Stay hydrated at least 6-8 glasses per day. Water helps flush out excess oxalates and reduces kidney stress. 5. If you've had kidney stones before or suspect weak kidney function, talk to a renal dietitian or your doctor before following detox trends online. Remember, every body is different, especially after 60. My final thought. I know you're trying to eat better, so am I. But healthy eating after 60 isn't just about what we eat. It's about how we combine foods based on how our bodies work now. After 60, nothing is harmless when used the wrong way. Something as simple as separating lemon from high-oxalate foods can protect your kidneys, ease your digestion, and turn every meal into something you truly enjoy. Section 4. 3 smart lemon combinations after 60. Gentle, natural, powerful. Now that we've seen what not to combine with lemon, let's talk about what does work, especially if you're over 60 and want something that's simple, safe, and actually makes you feel better. At this age, I'm not chasing miracle drinks. I just want things that make my digestion smoother, my body lighter, and my mornings calmer. And these 3 lemon-based combos have helped me and many friends feel better in just a few weeks. 1. Lemon plus raw honey. Supports digestion, immunity, and eases inflammation. Not the bear-shaped bottle kind, raw, unprocessed local honey. When mixed with warm, not hot, water and fresh lemon, it becomes a soothing drink that helps with digestion, immune defense, and light anti-inflammatory support. Why it works after 60. Lemon adds gentle acidity to aid your slower stomach. Honey coats the gut lining, calming mild irritation. Polyphenols in honey support immune function and gut health. Real story. Joe, 72, says 1 glass of warm lemon honey water every morning makes him feel lighter, breath easier, and keeps his usual winter cough away. How to make it. 1/2 fresh lemon. 1 tsp raw honey. Warm, not boiling, water. Stir gently and sip slowly before breakfast. 2. Lemon plus turmeric plus black pepper. Reduces inflammation, supports the liver and joints. Turmeric contains curcumin, a natural anti-inflammatory, but it's hard for the body to absorb. Lemon activates curcumin, and black pepper's piperine boosts absorption by up to 2,000%. Why it helps. Supports liver detox. Helps relieve joint pain and stiffness. May reduce brain fog and chronic fatigue. True story. Kathy, 67, had stiff joints for years, but after drinking lemon plus turmeric plus pepper every morning, she felt looser, more mobile, and mentally clearer. How to use it. 1/2 lemon, 1/4 tsp turmeric, pinch of black pepper, warm water. Stir well, add honey if needed, drink in the morning. 3. Lemon plus fresh ginger. Boosts circulation, warms the body, relieves bloating. Ginger is an age-old natural remedy, especially useful for those with cold hands, stiffness, or digestive trouble. Combined with lemon, it creates a morning drink that's both comforting and revitalizing. Clear benefits. Gingerol improves circulation, reduces pain. Lemon boosts vitamin C and digestion. Reduces post-meal bloating, especially at night. From my own experience, I used to feel cold and achy in winter mornings, but with warm lemon ginger water I feel more awake, less stiff, and even my mood lifts. How to make: 3-5 slices of fresh ginger, 1/2 lemon, warm water. Let steep 5-10 minutes, then sip. Add honey if you like, makes it even smoother. Lemon not just a drink, but a daily path to better aging. So you and I have walked this full journey together, not to fear food, not to restrict joy, but to simply understand ourselves better, our bodies, our age, and the power of small daily choices. Lemon, so ordinary on the outside, can truly be a quiet helper. When used wisely, it supports digestion, eases inflammation, and helps you feel lighter in the morning. Used carelessly, it may quietly cause fatigue, bloating, or even worse. Healthy aging isn't about strict diets or trendy solutions. It's about gentle routines, done right, done regularly at the right time. If something in today's video made you think differently, or reminded you of a habit you've had for years, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below. How have you used lemon in your daily life? What changes did you notice? Or what part of the video inspired you to try something new tomorrow? I read every message, and your stories mean more than you know. If this video might help someone you care about, share it with them. Because the right words shared at the right time can do more than any supplement. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click subscribe to The Elderly Way, where each week I share quiet, thoughtful lessons on living well, aging gently, and choosing what feels right for you. You deserve to feel good, not just someday, but every single day.